Well, moving on now to Sydney Sweeney, who's copped a backlash recently from the jealous and insane for doing a jeans ad.
Nobody in Hollywood expected a rumor to hit harder than a box office bomb. But the day a whisper floated through the industry that Jacob Elordi had been banned from ever working with Sydney Sweeney again, the town didn't just pause, it froze. Phones buzzed in agency offices, executives pushed meetings, publicists scanned the air like soldiers sensing incoming fire. It wasn't official, it wasn't confirmed, but it didn't matter. In Hollywood, perception is oxygen, and one spark can set the whole city on fire. It didn't start with a press leak or a scandalous tabloid headline. It began earlier, quietly, almost innocently.
Thank you very much. I am so happy to be here. My name is Sydney Sweeney. You might have seen me in Anyone But You or Euphoria. You definitely did not see me in Madam Web.
Two rising stars suddenly became the beating heart of one of TV's biggest cultural storms. Euphoria wasn't just a show, it was a psychological earthquake, shaking screens and reshaping careers overnight. And at its center were Jacob Elordi and Sydney Sweeney, pulled into a twisted romance arc that felt too intense to be fiction. Their characters moved like grenades with pulled pins, inching closer until everything detonated. That's when audiences stopped watching as viewers and started watching like detectives, convinced they were witnessing something real. Nobody warned them that fiction, once believed deeply enough, becomes truth in Hollywood minds. The on-screen chaos between Nate and Cassie wasn't pretty. It was toxic, raw, messy, uncomfortably convincing, the kind of acting that makes people forget it's acting at all. Hollywood has always blurred lines between performance and reality, and fans love drawing conclusions where none exist. So when the tension felt too sharp and the looks too charged, theories bloomed like wildfire. Some insisted they saw it in Jacob's eyes during interviews. Others swore Sydney's posture hinted at something hidden.
I was a little girl with a big imagination.
Yeah, a dream. Just a girl in a dream.
Yeah, my parents thought it was like wanting to be a princess, that it wasn't real, you couldn't touch it. We're a smaller town. And so I put together a 5-year business plan presentation of what could happen.
TikTok body language experts appeared overnight, dissecting milliseconds as if they held sworn affidavits. None of them had been near a set or spoken to a source, but confidence spreads faster than facts, and certainty, even false certainty, travels like gasoline on open flame. Then came the first bold statement online. HBO had to separate them. It got bad. No receipts, no context. Just that one sentence thrown into the algorithm like a match into dry grass. And the internet swallowed it whole, because sometimes people aren't searching for facts, they're searching for entertainment dressed as revelation. Fan pages reposted, gossip channels speculated, and suddenly the narrative took on weight without substance. It felt like a leak, so people treated it like one, and the rumor rolled forward untouched by logic. If someone whispers long enough in Hollywood, the world eventually leans in. Within days, it escalated. Fans began saying it wasn't just awkwardness, Elordi was banned from ever working with her again. Outrage turned into obsession, disbelief melted into certainty, and comment sections sounded like a theater mid-scream.
We have to earn it too. We wait
right.
just as long as you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And are you still in, I guess you can't tell us anything. I was
I
going
can
to say,
say a little bit.
Are you still in high school?
No.
Suddenly it wasn't a fan theory, it was a narrative. It spread not like gossip, but like truth discovered, as if someone had cracked open a classified studio memo. When millions believe something at once, reality bends and denial becomes irrelevant. Public curiosity exploded. Clips resurfaced. People slowed down red carpet footage to catch avoiding eye contact, and paparazzi shots were dissected like courtroom evidence. Sydney smiling too brightly? Tension. Jacob looking serious? Obviously drama. A half-second pause became psychological warfare. A polite nod became emotional distance. The internet transformed into detectives overnight, armed with imagination and hunger for chaos. Once the scent of scandal hit, the chase never stopped. The industry watched too. And this is where everything shifted. A town built on illusion suddenly realized how powerless it had become against online storytelling. Executives who once shaped narratives now found themselves reacting to them. A teenager with Wi-Fi could spark a rumor powerful enough to ripple through casting circles. Nobody truly believed Jacob was legally barred from Sydney. They feared distraction. Hollywood loves control. Rumors destroy control. Agents began whispering. Casting directors hesitated, not out of certainty, but fear. Hollywood isn't built on truth, and it's built on image stability, and instability spreads fast. What if pairing them again triggered fan chaos? What if audiences judged a film before a single frame shot? Suddenly, two careers weren't evaluated solely on talent, but narrative risk. The rumor itself became power invisible, unconfirmed, yet heavy enough to alter decisions. One whisper quietly became a casting factor. Meanwhile, both actors continued to rise. Jacob dove deeper into darker, intense roles, carving a path away from teen drama towards cinematic prestige and festival acclaim. Sydney became one of Hollywood's fiercest young producers, proving she could build more than characters, she could build empires and control her narrative.
It's more about spending time with people and building lifelong relationships.
It just motivates me to want to keep doing more and keep doing better.
They weren't feuding, they were evolving into sophistication, discipline, and ambition. But evolution doesn't trend, rumors do, and so the myth grew roots deeper than truth ever could, feeding a hungry internet that prefers drama over growth. The story twisted further when fans began debating who was at fault. Some painted Jacob as distant and intense, misreading artistic seriousness as emotional hostility. Others framed Sydney as ambitious and strategic, twisting success into manipulation because women in power still unsettle certain viewers. Both narratives wrong, both narratives unfair, yet both gaining momentum. In silence, fans found confirmation. In professionalism, they imagined coldness. Hollywood insiders shrugged they'd seen this cycle before. But they hadn't seen the consequences reach so far, so fast, and with such unpredictable force. For decades, scandals needed tabloids, paparazzi, leaks. But here, a scandal was manufactured by nothing but speculation, and it behaved like a real one. The industry realized audience imagination was now a weapon, uncontrolled and unpredictable. Strategies changed, PR teams adjusted, scripts were reconsidered, and suddenly the question wasn't, did Jacob and Sydney fight, but will this rumor shape future casting decisions? The calculus changed. Hollywood learned a lesson it didn't want. If fans believe something strongly enough, it becomes a factor. The ban didn't have to be real to matter. Its shadow was enough. Silence had turned into influence. Speculation had turned into industry caution. The rumor wasn't harmful because it was believed, it was harmful because it was considered. Instead of addressing it, both stars chose something smarter. They stayed silent. No dramatic denials, no defensive interviews, no social media clarifications. Silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. The less they spoke, the less fuel the rumor had, but also, the more mysterious it became. Ironically, silence made the myth stronger in public but safer in the industry. They both understood something most rising stars don't. Responding gives rumor legitimacy. Ignoring it gives it an expiration date, even if it lingers as a ghost. But here's the twist the world didn't see coming. The rumor didn't ruin them. It reshaped Hollywood. Studios now plan for fan narratives. Casting discussions now consider viral potential alongside talent. Contracts include online conduct clauses, and crisis media teams scan social platforms like radar operators watching for storms. PR teams track TikTok theories the way they once monitored newspapers. The business changed because one rumor proved how fragile reputations could be and how powerful collective imagination had become. Generations earlier, tabloids ruled reputations. Now, comment sections do. The story eventually faded not because it was resolved, but because another scandal arrived. Then another after that.
Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. Adolescents, presumed innocent, dying for sex. 4 great series with 6 incredible nominees for supporting actor in a limited or anthology series or movie.
Hollywood moves on quickly when attention is the currency and distraction is infinite. But the impact remained. The Elordi Sweeney rumor became case study material behind closed doors. Not a drama between actors, a drama between perception and power. A moment when the industry realized it no longer controlled the narrative. The audience did. And nothing terrifies a studio more than losing control of the story. And the truth? It was never a fight. It was never hostility. It was never a ban. It was simply 2 careers climbing too fast, too loudly, in a world that hates silence and fills it with imagination. They didn't ask for a narrative, but they got one anyway, an accidental legend born from nothing and believed by millions. Jacob Elordi and Sydney Sweeney didn't lose anything through the rumor. They gained something rare, proof that they existed in the public mind as figures large enough for fantasy. They didn't ask for it, but they learned how to navigate it, and Hollywood learned how to fear it. A rumor had become a force, and forces change industries. If you want more Hollywood stories that dive past the headlines and into the truth behind the myth, make sure to like this, subscribe, and drop a comment. In a world where rumors spread faster than facts, we chase the real narrative one story at a time. Stay tuned.